Genesis chapter 25, Death of Abraham. Abraham married another wife named Keturah. She bore him Simran, Jokshan, Midan, Midian, Ishbak, and Shua. Jokshan was the father of Shiva and Dedan, and the sons of Dedan were Ashurim, Letushim, and Lumim. The sons of Midian were Ephah, Epher, Hanoj, Abida, and Eldiah. All these were descendants of Keturah. Abraham left everything he owned to Isaac. To the sons of his concubines, Abraham gave presents while he was still living, and he sent them away from his son Isaac to the land of the east. Abraham had lived 175 years. Then, at a good old age, Abraham breathed his last, an old man after a full span of years, and was gathered to his ancestors. His sons Isaac and Ishmael buried him in the cave of Machpelah, in the field of Ephron the Hittite, son of Zohar. This was the field facing Mamre that Abraham had bought from the Hittites. Abraham and his wife Sarah were buried there. After Abraham's death, God blessed his son Isaac, who lived near the well of Laharoi. Descendants of Ishmael. These are the descendants of Ishmael, the son of Abraham, and Hagar, the Egyptian slave girl of Sarah. These are the names of the sons of Ishmael in the order of their birth. Ishmael's firstborn was Nebaioth, and after him Kedar, Adbeel, Mibsam, Mishma, Duma, Massa, Hadad, Tema, Jetu, Naphish, and Kedemah. These are the sons of Ishmael, and these are the names according to their settlements and camps, 12 tribal princes. Ishmael lived 137 years. He breathed his last and died, and was gathered to his people. His descendants lived in the territory stretching from Havilah to Shur, near the border of Egypt in the direction of Assyria, and each of them settled in opposition to his brothers. Birth of Esau and Jacob. This is the story of Isaac, son of Abraham. Isaac was 40 years old when he married Rebekah, daughter of Bethuel, the Aramean from Paddan Aram, the sister of Laban, the Aramean. Isaac prayed to the Lord for his wife because she couldn't have children. The Lord heard Isaac's prayer, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived. As the children struggled together within her, she said, "If it is like this, why do I continue to live?" So she went to consult the Lord, and the Lord said to her, "Two nations are in your womb, and two peoples will be born of you. One nation will be stronger than the other, and the elder shall serve the younger." When the time came for her to give birth, there were twins in her womb. The first to be born was red, and his whole body was like a hairy cloak, so they called him Esau. Then his brother was born with his hand gripping Esau's heel, so he was named Jacob. Isaac was 60 years old at the time of their birth. When the boys grew up, Esau became a skillful hunter, a man of the open country. Jacob was a quiet man living in tents. Isaac, who had a liking for game, loved Esau, but Rebekah loved Jacob. Once when Jacob was making a stew, Esau came back from the field, and he was famished. And he said to Jacob, "Let me have some of that raised stew, for I am famished." That is why he was also called Edom. Jacob said, "First sell me your right as the firstborn." Esau said, "Since I am dying, what good is my right as the firstborn to me?" Then Jacob said, "Give me your oath first." So he swore to him and sold his firstborn right to Jacob. Then Jacob gave him bread and the lentil stew. Esau ate and drank, and then got up and went his way, not bothered about the birthright he was throwing away. Genesis chapter 26. Isaac and Rebekah in Gerar. There was a famine in the land, the second one after the famine that had taken place in the time of Abraham. And Isaac went to Gerar, the land of Abimelech, king of the Philistines. For the Lord had appeared to him and said, Do not go down to Egypt. Stay in the land where I tell you to live. Remain in this land, and I will be with you, and I will bless you. I will give all these lands to you and your descendants, and I shall keep the oath I swore to your father Abraham. For I told him, I will make your descendants as many as the stars in the heavens, and to them I will give all these lands, and through your descendants all nations in the world will be blessed because of Abraham's obedience. For he kept my charge, my commandments, my decrees, and my laws. So Isaac stayed in Gerar. When the men of that place questioned him about his wife, he replied, She is my sister. He would not say, She is my wife, for he was afraid, and he thought, The men of this place might kill me because of Rebekah, who is very beautiful. When Isaac had been there a long time, it happened that Abimelech, king of the Philistines, looking out for a widow, saw Isaac caressing his wife Rebekah. Abimelech called Isaac and said, So she really is your wife. Why did you tell me that she was your sister? Isaac said to him, Because I thought that they might kill me on her account. Then Abimelech said, What is this you have done to us? One of my people could have slept with your wife, and you would have brought guilt on us. So Abimelech gave an order to all the people, Whoever touches this man or his wife will be put to death. Isaac sowed crops on this land, and that same year he harvested 100-fold. The Lord blessed him, and he continued to prosper until he was very rich. He had flocks and herds and many servants, so that the Philistines envied him. All the wells dug by his father's servants in Abraham's time was stopped up by the Philistines and filled with earth. Abimelech said to Isaac, Go away from us, for you are more powerful than we are. So Isaac left that place and encamped in the valley of Gerar and settled there. Isaac opened up again the wells that had been dug in the time of his father Abraham, and which the Philistines had stopped up after Abraham's death. He gave these wells the names his father had given them. Isaac's servants dug in the valley and discovered there a fresh water spring. The herdsmen of Gerar quarreled with Isaac's herdsmen, saying, The water is ours. So he named the well Isaac, because they squabbled about it. They dug another well, and there was quarreling about that as well, so he called it Sibnah. He moved away from there and dug another well, and as no one quarreled over it, he called it Rehoboth, saying, Now the Lord has made room for us, we shall prosper in the land. From there Isaac went to Beersheba, and the Lord appeared to him the same night and said, I am the God of Abraham your father. Do not be afraid, for I am with you. I will bless you and increase your descendants for the sake of my servant Abraham. Isaac built an altar there and called on the name of the Lord. It was there he pitched his tent, and there his servants dug a well. Pact with Abimelech. Abimelech went to him from Gerar together with Ahuzzath, his advisor, and Pichol, the commander of his forces. Isaac said to them, Why have you come after me, seeing that you hate me and have sent me away? They answered, We have clearly seen that the Lord is with you. So we said, Let peace be sworn between us and you, and let us make a treaty. You will do us no harm, just as we have not interfered with you, but always treated you well and sent you away in peace. We know that you have the Lord's blessing. Isaac then made a feast for them, and they ate and drank. Next morning they rose early and swore an oath to each other. Isaac then set them on their way, and they went away from him in peace. That day Isaac's servants came and told him of the well they had dug. We have found water, he called the well Sheba, and that is why the name of the town has been Beersheba to this day. Hittite wives of Esau. When Esau was 40 years old, he married Judith, daughter of Beeri the Hittite, and Basemath, the daughter of Elon the Hittite. They made life bitter for Isaac and Rebekah. Psalm chapter 13. Prayer for deliverance. How long, O Lord, will you forget me and hide your face from me? How long must I suffer pain in my soul and grief in my heart all the day long? How long shall my enemy triumph over me? Look upon me and answer, O Lord my God. Give light to my eyes, lest I sleep the sleep of death. Lest my enemies say, I have overpowered him. Lest my foes rejoice in seeing me stumble. But I put my trust in your unfailing love. My heart rejoices in your redeeming grace. I will sing to the Lord, for he has been good to me. Matthew chapter 9, verse 18 to 38. The dead girl and the sick woman. When Jesus was telling them these things, a Jewish official came up to him, bowed low before him and said, My daughter has just died, but come lay your hands on her and she will live. So Jesus got up and followed him with his disciples. Then a woman who had suffered from a severe bleeding for 12 years came up from behind and touched the edge of his cloak. For she said to herself, If I only touch his cloak, I will be healed. Jesus turned, saw her and said, Courage, my daughter, your faith has healed you. And from that moment the woman was cured. When Jesus arrived at the official's house and saw the flute players and the excited crowd, he said, Get out of here, the girl is not dead, she is only sleeping. And they laughed at him. But once the crowd had been turned out, Jesus went in and took the girl by the hand, and she stood up. The news of this spread through the whole area. As Jesus moved on from there, 2 blind men followed him, shouting, Son of David, have pity on us. When he was about to enter the house, the blind men caught up with him, and Jesus said to them, Do you believe that I am able to do what you want? They answered, We do, Lord. Then Jesus touched their eyes and said, As you have believed, so let it be. And their eyes were opened. Then Jesus gave them a stern warning, Be careful and let no one know about this. But as soon as they went away, they spread the news about him through the whole area. As they were going away, some people brought to Jesus a man who was dumb because he was possessed by a demon. When the demon was driven out, the man who had been dumb spoke. The crowds were astonished and said, Nothing like this has ever been seen in Israel. But the Pharisees said, It is through the power of the head demon that he drives out demons. Jesus went around all the towns and the villages, teaching in their synagogues and proclaiming the good news of the kingdom. And he cured every sickness and every disease. When he saw the crowds, he was moved with pity, for they were harassed and helpless, like sheep without a shepherd. Then he said to his disciples, The harvest is abundant, but the workers are few. Ask the master of the harvest, therefore, to send workers to gather his harvest.